Greetings all, this is the TKForce, the team killing force of nature itself. And I am here with a quick little video about Neverwinter Nights 2 character building. In specific, a couple of people have expressed interest in the character build I used during my Let's Play, and I thought since during that Let's Play I didn't really go into my character build a lot. Like sometimes if I leveled up towards the end of a set, I would save leveling up for after recording was over. I think sometimes, a couple of times I even cut leveling up out of the recording just because I thought it was kind of boring. But since that would make it very difficult for people playing along at home to recreate my build if they wanted to, I thought I'd make this video. We'll go into new game here. We'll go into new campaign. We will choose Mask of the Betrayer. I think that's what I want. Start campaign. Because let's see here. Create character. Yeah. So, I mean, any race for this build would work. I go with human just because you get an extra feat point. So, yeah. That is why I picked that. Let's make this character, even though it doesn't matter, look kind of like the character I used during the series, shall we? We might as well. Yes, this looks familiar to anybody that watched the series, probably. Yes, I think this was my character indeed. Now what you want to start off with, because we're making a kick-butt melee character, right, is obviously Barbarian. No, not at all. You want Fighter? No. Paladin? No, we're going for a melee character that really kicks ass. We're going with Bard. Obvious. Okay, now, very important with alignment is that you want chaotic of some variety. Doesn't matter which, I went with chaotic evil, eventually switched over to chaotic good for role-playing reasons during the actual LP itself. But as I mentioned, it doesn't really matter. You just want to make sure that you're chaotic in some fashion for this build to work. Picking a deity, again, doesn't matter. You are not going to be a cleric at any point. What does matter is your stats here. You want to max out strength. Look at that, 18, maxed. Okay. And as long as charisma 11 is the minimum, you might as well pop one more into it to get it to 12 to get a bonus to, you know, various charisma checks. You might not want a penalty to your willpower rolls. You definitely don't want a penalty to your skills. In fact, you probably want a bonus to the amount of skill points you get. Probably don't want to be too much low in the health department. Armor class. These last 2 points, it doesn't really matter. As long as you've made the character somewhat well-rounded here. Those don't matter, but yeah, a little extra HP couldn't hurt. So we'll go with that, shall we? Okay. In fact, actually, back. I prefer better, since, you know, I prefer better, more of a glass cannon. So we'll go down in the hit points and just bring the skills up a little more. I like having a lot of skills. So basically all these backgrounds provide bonuses and penalties. The one we're going to go with is Ladies Man, because it gives you +1 to listen, +1 to diplomacy, both of which we will make use of, and -2 to intimidate, which we were never planning to use anyway. So yeah, we'll go with that. You can come up with your own roleplay reasons as to why your character was a Ladies Man. For me, I decided it's because although my character could be a bit of a bastard, he was pretty good at telling people what they wanted to hear. Anyway, we'll customize because, you know, all the cool kids customize. I like to put in some appraise. We got a lot of skill points to work with. I like to put in some appraise because in the first part of the game, money's hard to come by. Next part's the latter 2/3 of the game. It's not so hard to come by, but in the beginning, a little appraise can help you out. Use magic devices, very important. You'll want to give your main character the cream of the crop of magical items, even if they're not necessarily for his class or alignment. So boosting up, use magical devices, quite important. Tumble, quite useful because every 5 points in it, your AC will improve. Spellcraft, quite useful, every 5 points in it, you'll get a +1 bonus to your saving throws versus spells and what have you. Let's see here. Lore. Incredibly important. You need lore. Listen. Like I said, we will be taking listen because you either need to take listen or you need to take spot, which isn't amongst our skills to take anyway, in order to avoid being backstabbed and snuck upon and whatnot. So, yeah, you run into a lot of thieves in the game eventually, so you will need one of those. We'll go with listen since we get a bonus to it from our background, and it's one of the things we can take without penalty. We also want diplomacy. Quite a bit of diplomacy. Let's see. After that, we need to spend 3 more points, and I like to put them into perform. Just because, you know, bards are the only class that get perform at all, so might as well have a wee bit of it. You can hold up to 5 skill points. That's why I didn't spend those yet. Now, as far as skills go, feats. As far as feats go, every other race starts with 1 feat. You start as a human with 2. Something that will be quite important to you fairly quickly is the weapon proficiency martial. You'll quite quickly run into great swords, which I think are the best two-handed weapons in the game. I mean, that's probably debatable because if you wanted to go with high critical hits or something, there are two-handed weapons that have a better crit ratio. But I just like the nice base damage that the greatsword gives you. And anyway, so basically, you're going to run into those shortly, so you will want to take that. And then after that, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you'll want power attack at some point here, fairly shortly, but something you definitely want to have before you switch classes later on will be Able Learner, so you can continue to take skills in things that are no longer your class skill. So we might as well just pick that up now. So now we have Able Learner and proficiency in martial weapons. Nice. Next, your cantrip spells here, does not matter. You will have them all before you switch class, so we'll just take whatever. Next, my character was named King, and I think it was Draco. Was that it? I don't know. Doesn't matter, really. Brooding Dark Hero.
By my direction, attack!
Yeah, I think that was his voice, basically. So, we are finished. Now, since we started in Mask of the Betrayer,
hello.
We start in this little room here, because we made a level 1 character. And we choose to level up manually, because you need like a level 18 character to actually begin this quest. We're not beginning the quest, but this is just to show you going through the character building process. So we'll go to level up. Now, I guess you just need the 1 level in Bard or Sorcerer to go for what we're eventually going for. So I guess you could splice over to Fighter here. I don't do that. I just try to keep it simple, you know, just stick with Bard. Your strength is enough already that you're going to be able to use weapons to do terrible, terrible damage. So we'll stick as Bard. Continue to work on our appraise, continue our diplomacy. Lore, that's a big one. Listen, of course. Tumble, use magic, spellcraft. Then we got 7 points. We can only carry 5 of them over, so yeah, give us a bit more perform. And next, here the magics aren't really important. Here we got our last cantrip there, so magics aren't really important. What I like to do is I like to take all the cure spells that are available along the way, just so that if you're in one of those areas where you can't rest to get back your HP, maybe you can use those spells to top yourself off a little or something in an emergency. I also like to take Lesser Dispel. That could be handy. Very unlikely. You'll have better spellcasters. Your job is killing things with big-ass weapons. So, we did that. That's fine. Gain more experience. So, here we go. Bard again. And basically just hit all of the skills that you have been working on. Doot, 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 and spellcraft, performance. You've got 1 more point that you've got to put somewhere. So I just take a point of taunt. Could be important. It's probably not going to be important, but still, whatever. Okay, here you get to take a feat again. And you are going to be hitting hard with two-handed weapons. So, power attack, really going to be useful for that. So, we will take power attack. Nice. Okay, we take another 1st level spell. It doesn't really matter. Maybe take Identify, just because, I mean, a lot of the things your lore is already going to identify for you, but for later on when it starts faltering and whatnot, having Identify could just be handy so that you don't have to have one of your more useful spellcasters use it. So, move on from there. And we'll continue leveling up. Continuing as the Bard for now. Oh, here you get to pick another attribute thing. Again, strength, we want that as high as possible. Why? Because that bonus there, that +4, well, when you use a two-handed weapon, that +4 gets an extra 50% bonus and becomes +6. So when you use the great swords that you find very quickly, you are going to do an extra 6 points of damage with them. That's fairly significant, and will become increasingly more significant as later on we'll be getting a lot more strength. Okay, again here we just want to work on what we've already been working on. I don't see that as being a difficult concept to figure out. Again, a little more taunt, why not? Alright, here again, cure moderate wounds, because, yeah, like I said, a little top off on the healing in case you run into one of those areas where you can't rest to get back your hit points. Beyond that, you might think bull strength could be quite useful, but that actually doesn't really increase your strength beyond a certain point. So it's really not that useful to you because you're going to be too strong to benefit from it. Instead, let's see here, heroism. It's a nice little buff spell that gives you +2 to morale, attack rolls, saves, skill checks. Get in. Nice little buff that's handy to have around for trying to make skill checks or just give yourself a little bonus to hit. Any of that could be nice. So that is a spell that will actually be useful for us for a time to come. Okay. Continue along as the bard. Nothing really that interesting for a while now, most likely, except for the fact that, boom, we just put our 8th point into lore. Right now, that doesn't seem all that important. Right now, you don't really see the significance, but you will. That was a big step for us. Picking another couple of spells here is not a big step for us, but remove fear. That could be conceivably handy. And sound burst, summon creature. It really doesn't matter. Old person, ghostly visage. Protect gives you a little buff of taking a little less damage. Sure, why not? Probably won't be casting it anyway. Okay, so here is the first big change for us now that we're a level 5 bard. We'll no longer be going up as a bard. As you see, Red Dragon Disciple had a requirement of having been a bard or a sorcerer and having a lore rank of 8. Now we get to start leveling up as the Red Dragon Disciple. We'll get significantly higher hit point dice to roll. Our attack bonus will stay medium. That doesn't matter, we're going to be very strong. So strength equals bonus to hit with melee weapons. That'll be handy. Get a lot less skill points. That will be unfortunate, but it's something we can deal with. So we'll go to next here. Continue to bring appraise up a little bit here. Diplomacy definitely always. Listen, you can continue to bring up. I stopped bringing lore up now. There's no real reason to. You can no longer bring performance up, so it's stuck at 8. If you need it to be higher, there's your heroism spell, some other ways to raise it. Spellcraft, we will always continue bringing that up. Tumbling, use magic, always we will bring those up. And as you can see, we're actually running into our point reservoir that we were carrying around now because we're spending more points than we're gaining. So that's why we kept those 5. Okay. Moving on. Okay, here we get to pick another ability. And since we had power attack last time, we can take Cleave now. Cleave allows to kill an opponent. No, not to kill, but allows an extra free attack on a nearby enemy after you killed one opponent. So, since we have massive strength, wield a massive two-handed weapon, we are a one-hit killy sort of machine. So it will we will very often be able to proc our cleave and maybe kill 2 people in 1 round. Very, very handy. That will get even better when we take something, the improved version of it later on. So yeah, we also got another feat there, which was natural armor increase. That'll go up as we continue to level up as a Red Dragon Disciple, and you know, a little extra armor for someone who wades in there, starts swinging a big sword at people. That's gonna be handy. So let's continue leveling up, continue as a Red Dragon Disciple. More diplomacy. This will be our last point in praise. You don't really need it above 10. That should be fine. We'll continue to bring up Listen. Spellcraft, Tumble, and use magic devices. We're eating into our points again. Next. Feats, dragon abilities. Nice. Now, what dragon abilities did there was, yeah, here we go. As we gain levels in this class, our ability scores will increase. So we gained a +2 to strength for becoming a 2nd level Dragon Disciple. So now our strength is up to 21. Again, it's getting more dangerous. So, level up again. Again, Red Dragon Disciple. Oop, here we get to spend another attribute point. So it goes into strength. Look at that. +6, using two-handed weapon. That'll be +9 damage. Very nice. Like I said, no more praise. It's not really necessary anymore. So bring up your diplomacy. Your listen, still important to be higher than 10. This must continue to raise for now. We will stop it eventually, but for now it is important. So yeah, that works out. We just continued with our tumbling, use magic devices, our spellcraft. Oh, we got Dragon Breath. I've never actually used Dragon Breath effectively. It is an ability that you get where once per day, so okay, already fairly useless, you can do damage of like 4d10, or well, actually starts out at like 2d10, then goes to 4d10 and 6d10. At any point, it's pretty useless. I mean, seriously, I never even try to remember that you have it. You will not run into a situation where it will benefit you. Okay, more Red Dragon Disciple. More diplomacy, because those diplomacy checks will continually to get harder to make throughout the game. Listen, go up as well, because things will get sneakier. Spellcraft, because you want to continue to get it because of the fact that in increments of 5, it will provide you a saving throw bonus, and people will use a lot of spells on you. Okay, tumble, magic devices. Oh, here we go. Great Cleave is the feat this time. As Cleave, except there's no limit to the number of additional attacks that the character can make after killing one opponent. So, basically, we kill one guy with our swing. If we kill another guy, then we can swing at another guy who we might kill, and we become a whirling dervish of death. Beautiful. So we will take that. I love being a whirling dervish of death. I don't know about you, but that's my bag, baby. Let's see here. It looks like our strength is increased more so. It's 24. So, yeah, we're doing plus 10 damage now with two-handed weapons. We can enact our power attack mode to increase that even more. We don't have a two-handed weapon on at the moment, but trust me, it'll be really useful for when you get one. Okay, continuing as Red Dragon Disciple. Continuing into... Oh, wait, no, we don't want to praise anymore. Misclick. Luckily, you can just hit the minus sign and take it back. Listen. Of course, you can only do that if you've put something into it this time. Like, I can't take stuff back from Taunt, because that was put there previous levels ago. So, that's stuck there. Okay, nice. Blind Fighting, that's actually a nice get. Because now even if someone casts like a darkness or blind spell, you're still good to go. Still good to wade in there with your greatsword, swinging around, chopping off heads. Awesome. More Red Dragon Disciple. More Diplomacy. That is so useful in the game. I mean, there are places to use bluff, intimidate, stuff like that, but diplomacy, so many more opportunities for it. More listen, spellcraft, tumble for the AC, use magic devices. We're getting close to another bonus for the tumble and spellcraft, so that's nice always. Let's see here. We will level up again. Red Dragon Disciple. Oh, another point in strength there, bringing it up to 25. Titan levels of strength coming up here on us. Or at least, you know, if you played Second Ed, you would get that reference. Okay, Diplomacy. Oh, and here's a big one for Listen. 15. I think that is as high as you ever need to have your Listen. So that's what we'll be leaving it at. Spellcraft, Tumble, use magic device. Yeah. Moving on. Okay, here you actually start to have a little freedom with your stuff. I mean, you have the really important feats. You already have the really important feats. You can kind of pick and choose now. I find improved power attack to be pretty useful. It gives you a -6 penalty on the attack roll, +6 bonus to damage. You are going to be quite accurate, as strong as you are going to be. So the +6 damage really tends to outweigh the... basically, even with the penalty, you're still likely going to hit. And there is going to be something that will improve your power attacks later on. So that one can be very nice. You could also go for Medium armor, I like that too. Getting myself a little more armored up. Eventually, even I like to go with heavy armor. So, you know, there's a little freedom here in how you want to play. Do you want to go for more offense? Do you want to go for some more defense? And also, you could start picking on a weapon. You could start picking a weapon focus now. I would, of course, suggest greatsword if you're going to focus on a weapon. That would be here, and then you could get the focus in it, and then you could get the other bonuses that'll come later with it. Like you could get some improved critical for it. Let's see. I like to go with the medium armor. That's me. I like to go with that. Because I like to have him decked out in heavy armor by the end of my playthrough. So yeah, we'll take medium armor. And we have gone up 7 levels as a Red Dragon Disciple. So we'll go up some more. Here, more diplomacy. We don't really need any more listen. Not that important. Spellcraft always, tumble always, magic device. So we're cool there. And let's see, 8th level. We only have 2 more levels of Red Dragon Disciple to go. And then this build will go somewhere else. Kind of, I mean, the place that I take it, it's not necessary for you to take it there. There are other viable choices, but I think it's the one that works best. And let's see here. We actually started to make some points here. In fact, we probably didn't really need that extra point in intelligence in the beginning, but like I say, a lot of skills can be very handy. So here, you could take some more praise. More taunts, probably not useful. You could take some more listen to try and make sure you don't get backstabbed. More lore could be handy. We'll go with some more lore. Anywho, 1 more level in Red Dragon Disciple. 1 more level. Okay. We will take that, that, and where's lore? There we go. Okay, as you can see here, we get our immunity to fire at this level, our immunity to paralysis, we get to see invisible things, immunity to sleep, dark vision. I mean, this is where it all comes in. It comes all together now. Like I said, I like to have heavy armor by the end of my build, so we will grab some. And then, as you can see, our strength is 29. That's pretty frickin' incredible. Now we're level 15. We've got 3 more levels to go. And now here you could go back to Bard since, you know, Red Dragon Disciple is over. But I like to go into another prestige class. I like to go into Frenzied Berserker. Because, well, it continues to give you D12s and hit points. It gives you a high of attack bonus. It gives you a free toughness feat, so it'll increase your hit points by 1 per your level retroactively, so that's always nice. And Frenzy will allow you to add +6 bonus to your strength for a little while, you know? Giving you a minus to your AC. And it gives you, well, we'll talk about what it gives you in the next levels. The requirements were to have a base attack bonus of +6. We're level 15. We're gonna have that. Of any non-lawful. Yeah, that's why I like to keep it chaotic. Make sure I don't slip into lawfulness. And you need to have cleave, great cleave, and power attack. I made sure that we got those. So yes, we are becoming a Frenzied Berserker. Yes, we are bringing our strength up to 30. So bam, when we use a two-handed weapon, we are getting a +15 damage. Booyah! Okay, let's see here. We could take a lot of stuff here. Diplomacy is a no-brainer. We need more of that, obviously. Yes, yes, yes. And let's see here. We got 7 points, so we could start bringing some other stuff up here to a reasonable level. You know, taunt could actually be pretty good for now that we're a berserker. Maybe we should just, bam, go into that wholesale. I like it. So yeah, we get toughness, we get frenzy. Very nice abilities. So we will continue to move on up as the Frenzied Berserker. And yeah, diplomatic Frenzied Berserker. That is something to see. Ooh, 20 in these abilities. Got to love that. That's a 4-point bonus to your armor class. That's probably the ability to use any magical item that you're going to find, no matter what its requirements are. A 4-point bonus to your saves versus spells. Wow. Talk about handy. Another 2 points in taunt. Why not? And there we go. Supreme Cleave. We just got Supreme Cleave. So let's take a look at that. Feats. Supreme Cleave. There we go. So it's 2nd level. If the Frenzied Berserker triggers a cleave, they gain 2 additional attacks against a nearby foe instead of 1. So, since we're a one-hit killing machine, we are almost certainly going to start tearing through the enemy if we get 2 attacks each time one of them goes down. I mean, just incredible. We're going to get 1 more level here, again in Frenzied Berserker, and the ability we're going to get from that, we won't get this level, but you know, you will get to go up further in levels, especially if you're doing Mask of the Betrayer. So eventually you'll get this Deathless Frenzy ability, where, well, as long as you're in it, even your HP basically, it can't go down below 1 point. You are immune to being killed until that frenzy ends. So that's pretty cool. So we'll just finish up by putting some stuff in the obvious places there. Did I miss one? Not apparently. Okay. And let's see. I would not go with the extend rage or the extra rages. I mean, it's really not that important. Going into the frenzy really isn't even necessary most of the time. You already have that incredible +15 damage from your strength, and you'll probably be augmenting your strength with a belt that gives you like +8 to strength as well. So you're just going to be a killing machine all the time. It will not be dependent upon your frenzy. Now I would definitely take improved power attack, because no, that's just going to be awesome. And then, like I say, if you continue to level up after this, or you didn't even have to take improved power attack, you could have specialized in a weapon. Would have been another decent way to go. But here we go. With improved power attack, even without a weapon, you can see that our attack bonuses are quite nifty, and our plus to damage is already plus 16. And like I say, we'll get another 5 on top of that. So each of our attacks will, with a two-handed weapon, so each of our attacks would do 21 damage plus the weapon damage, which would be, if you're using a great sword, 2d6 of plus whatever magical bonus the weapon happens to do. So that's an incredible amount of damage that you're going to be dishing out. It's going to be like 30 to 40 damage per hit. Anyway, people, that is how you build a Red Dragon Disciple. That is how you build a killing machine. I hope you've enjoyed this character building video. Until next time, may the Force be with you.